Hello, Joe. How are you,
How's
sir?
it going, buddy? Good, man.
Well,
Good.
doing a little chaos thing. The fine folks at Bancor, one of my that just launched their new version,
Yeah.
threw me a ticket to permissionless this week in Palm Beach County. So I'm headed up
Ooh.
there. So it's kind of thrown a wrench. I'm having to cancel all my interviews. You know, you know that shit.
Yeah. No, that'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Remind me, maybe when you find your buddy Doquan, make sure to say
Bill,
hi
didn't you
for
say
me.
he's going to be there? So he's supposed to
He's
speak,
supposed to
right?
be there, man. Yeah, I
Supposed to
think
talk
we're
about the future of UST and algorithmic
algorithmic.
stablecoins.
What's it? I think it's called uh resetting the peg. I think that's the name of this thing. Why
The,
depegging isn't bad for you?
the revival, the revival. So I got in a little bit of a discussion this morning.
With who?
This guy, it's a guy on, I don't know, he's an ex FBI agent, right? And he was trying to intimate that a tweet by CZ over the weekend saying CZ's basically said, hey, there were comments on Twitter about the UST thing, and so I thought I better address some of them. And he said, and that because people were asking if Binance had any UST, right? And
Right.
he's kind of laughing about it. He said, I don't have access to our admin back end for security reasons, so he has to ask someone. Then he asked someone, and they said, yes, there's UST in there from fees. So that was the second tweet. I found out there's UST in there from fees, people paid, trading, whatever. But that's it, right? So the guy intimates that the phrasing of his statement analysis, that the phrasing of CZ's tweet basically was how criminals act when they're guilty of something. And I'm like, so anyway, I just responded to him and I said, you do a 19 tweet thread intimating that CZ Binance is trying to hide a crime without tagging him. He didn't tag CZ, so CZ would know it happened and could respond to it. I said, you don't point to anything criminal about them having UST, nor look to his past statements to know that he manages hands off. He lets his team, that's his history, is he lets his team run shit, right?
Right.
The venture fund, everything. And you skip over where he's saying he responds to comments. Anyway, so then I retweeted, though, somebody analyzed CZ's Binance's venture fund's investment, and they received, here, I should be sharing, I guess.
Yeah, probably. This actually sounds interesting.
So Binance received 15 million Luna for their $3 million investment, which at one point at the peak was worth $1.6 billion. They didn't move it. They didn't sell it. And that 1.6 billion is now worth, drum roll please, $3,000.
Looks like a Brad deal.
Exactly a Brad deal.
A hodl deal. There's your hodl deal for you.
Yeah, man.
Audience.
Damn, Joe's not feeling well, so he's just gonna take it out on me today. Nice.
No. I'm just thinking. Look. No, I'm not. You're not the
I'm
pioneer
just
of
kidding
hodl,
with you, man.
So, but look. I mean, I've told repeatedly. I bought Luna. I want to. This is way back in first quarter last year, but I want to say it was in the 50-cent range, something like that. And I remember riding it up to, maybe it was $1, but riding it up to 6, 7, 8 and selling some and then buying back and then riding it up and selling somewhere around 10. And I was feeling like a real a-hole when I was watching that stuff go up to $60 or $100 or wherever it got to. But now I'm I think I won that one.
Nice.
If against just a pure hodler, and I'm not picking on it. Because everybody wants to.
I never had any, so I wasn't hodling it.
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I think you have to actively trade in this space, or you're just going to have these things that go up and then go down. But the key is if you sell some of it when it's up and try to buy some of it when it's down, you're going to make out okay.
Yeah.
Just don't get greedy.
Yeah. So what's the market doing, Joe?
Honestly, I've been just swamped with this other thing. We're going to check right now. Why don't you go to commercial for a second, and I'll be right back. It looks like it's only off 1 3/4. well, hold on. Let's just make sure before I start quoting things.
It's
Make sure
down.
I
It's
look
at
at the-
29,631 Bitcoin.
Oh
ETH's
yeah.
at 2010.
Yeah, so we're just hanging at that 30,000, 2,000, give or take a couple $100, a couple $1,000 until something happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
was
saw-
kind of
Go
thought we were
ahead.
going into that fractal move, but then I heard most of this uncertainty today relates around Chinese economic data. Evidently, that's where a lot of the attention is. People weren't really focused on it with all the other stuff going on, but supposedly they're not hitting their numbers.
Oh, well,
So
China in general,
China in general, yeah.
and they have a lockdown.
The lockdown's what's killing it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's concern. People are looking at that. So remember, we always talk about how, and I'm not talking about Bitcoin valuation per se, but more equities, that it's always about, those future earnings, those future cash flows, or
Right.
EBITDA, or whatever you want to call it, discounted back to today. So, that's where the cost of capital, i.e. interest rates and things like that, come into the equation. But if a big event changes, like maybe somebody had a, pick, any tech company or whatever, someone had or a car company had projected, 15% sales growth in some product. And if nobody's going to work, you're not going to hit that number.
Right.
And I think 50% growth in China is usually a pretty big number considering how many people are there. So I think that is kind of causing uncertainty now. Everybody's, all the models are being redone, trying to see who has any, China contagion in, future earnings, or some preponderance of heavy weighting of maybe future earnings being in China. And that's what a lot of this is about. Yeah, there's always lots of good stuff out there if you want to worry about everything.
So, yeah, I listened to part of, what's his name? Raoul Pai? That guy that has the media outlet for investing. Anyway, he was on Bankless end of last week, and this guy is like total doom and gloom on everything. So anyway,
well, it's just, you have to think. Look, before we go on, I was just going to say, tilt your head to the left a little bit, the other way. What are you doing? Coloring that little like kind of froth there I see on the front of your
what
head
are
there?
you
Is that-
talking about?
Right there on your little bangs or whatever you got going on there. I see some color there of some sort. Is that
Yeah, that's
gray, or
white,
is it-
dude. That's called white hair. That comes from the stress of working with Joe.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I thought, wow, he's getting kind of sassy over there, going for a little coloring.
Oh, James says, look at poor James. Back from a week-long vacation in the Bahamas, I see the crypto markets burned to the ground while I was away.
It was a good week to be away. Yeah. Look,
Bond
now
rates
you're
at
the bottom.
9.2% though.
Yeah, that's what I saw the other day. I mean, that's the kind of interesting
That's pretty
thing.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're like kind of the bank investor or the cash investor, and all of a sudden you're trying to decide whether to go to crypto or do something a little higher yield, this kind of like gets my attention, at
Right.
9.2% if I'm not a crypto person. Even if I am a little bit. And I'm
Yeah, that's a nice-
I don't know what about these
Better than
stable
UST's
coins.
paying right now.
Yeah, exactly. Although I saw it. Wait. I was on IDEX this morning looking at their numbers. They got some pretty good numbers there. And also Crystal's got some pretty decent numbers. We used to do a lot of Crystal. There is yield out there. I'm not on UST in particular, but on everything else. I was kind of surprised.
So I had an interesting conversation this weekend, yesterday,
Really?
with one Jeremy Allaire of Circle, the company
your buddy.
behind USDC. So let me see if I can find this conversation. 1 second. Let me get
Did
it
you
up.
get your wallet whitelisted?
It's probably blacklisted now.
Yeah. Like, we got to get this guy.
Now, so you know what? The lesson out of this is don't make assumptions. Look, I still have concerns about USDC, and I told him that straight out. But he was responding to a thread by Dovey Rug the Fiat Wan, where he was asking things about the backing of USDC, et cetera. And Jeremy quoted his tweet. replied to it and said, yeah, we want to have cash held at the Fed, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, here's a question. You have the ability to blacklist wallets. Doesn't that make USDC a threat to all of DeFi if regulators demand you blacklist protocol wallets? What are your protocols for government orders and what countries would you be required to obey? Because I'm thinking, you know, it may not just be US regulators that try to get them to shut down protocols, right? Is the UK come along, the Europeans come along and say, hey, we don't like this shit, get it out, right? And so he says, you know, the Dovey who was in this conversation said, can't be censorship resistant. They've got to have regulators. And then Jeremy says, wait, where'd it go?
Right there.
Financial intermediaries that are regulated are going to be required to work with a coin that is regulated, right? I mean, that makes sense. If you're like a broker or a bank or whatever, if you're already regulated, you're probably not going to be able to get to work with Frax, right? You're going to have to work with something like USDC, which I said, that makes sense. I said, regulated folks will have to interact with regulated stables, and USDC fills that role perfectly. We do, though, have a significant dependency on your otherwise stellar product that could take down DeFi. How do we balance? And then I said, you want to come on my show and discuss? He said, actions against protocols in terms of protecting USDC holders need to be a line in the sand. I like two-bit idiots, that's Ryan Selkis, ideas around an end-user bill of rights that could even be enshrined in law. So what I think he's saying there is he likes the idea of saying, if it would impact an end user adversely, that they would not be required, supposedly under law or declaration, to blacklist a protocol wallet. Anyway, so I pitched him again on the show, but he followed me, so I could then DM him. I DM'd him and said, hey, want to get you on, blah, blah, blah. He said, I can't do it right now, but I can get the guy that's in charge of USDC on. So
there you go.
I'm going to get an interview with him. I'm actually going to meet him in person this week at Permissionless, and he's setting it all up. But I think the other thing for me to understand is this is, you know, I'm not a fan of USDC and DeFi being used by protocols because of the blacklist and the backdoor. But at the same time, I also understand a need for a regulated stablecoin, one that is backed properly, for us to make the jump into traditional finance world. So what I'm curious about is how we strike that balance. So anyway, I'm gonna meet the gentleman that's in charge of it. We're gonna have a little discussion. We'll schedule an interview, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it's good to try to have an open mind and and reasonably assess why someone's position may be what it is. There you go.
Wow.
See, my life has changed.
Little offspring is finally
Jesus
growing
Christ.
up here.
And then, you know, our buddy Chuck sent us a great image this weekend. And this is brilliant. The only real stable coin. Hold on, let me get this up.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's fucking perfect. And there'll be people that don't understand this because they don't have a Costco. I mean, Costco. But the only remaining stable coin. Costco still only charges $1.50 for an awesome hot dog. By the way, very good hot dogs with a drink. And you're not going to find that anywhere in the world. So that is the only stable coin, Joe.
Interesting.
I think they're absolutely right. We should have, you know, Costco dog coin.
Yeah.
Dude. Like
we could have that, couldn't we?
Today.
You know, I don't know. I've never had I have had Kirkland stuff. What am I talking about? My ex-wife used to buy that.
Well, this is up at their, you know, they have a stand at the front of the store.
Yeah. By the gas station?
Huh?
By the gas station area? Isn't there like something?
No, it's inside the store at the very front. And it's awesome. Those dogs are good. And I watched the whole thing, like a mini documentary about how they source their hot dog meat.
Maybe we should get Costco to sponsor us.
There we
could
go.
Have like a hot dog machine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So for all you folks that aren't aware of Costco, Costco's a massive warehouse store where you have to be a membership. You pay like $60-$70 a year. You get
It's Walton
merchandise.
family, right? It's Walton
No,
family, right?
no, Costco's not Walton. That's BJ's. No, not BJ's. There's another one. Sounds like something Wall something. I don't know. But this is not Costco is independent.
Sam's Club. Sam's Club.
Sam's Clubs.
Yeah.
Costco is actually would never fit in the Walmart brand because they are not
Chinese government money.
they are left of center to some extent. So
I didn't know
they
that.
actually pay. This is one of the best paying private retail companies in the world is Costco. They pay very well.
What family owns them?
What's that?
What family owns them?
No idea. No.
Okay, well,
friggin' clue.
If only there was a magical tool.
Yeah, why don't you look
we
that
could
up,
go to.
Joe? Let me Google that for you, Chumley.
Not too hard, buddy. The Jelinek family. Oh, that's the CEO. Chairman of the board, Hamilton E. This is probably going to be the name we're looking for. Because there's all these families that own these giant conglomerates that we don't even, because they're not public, we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like I ran into a couple, like, I don't remember their names exactly, but like some chemical company people out of New Jersey, and you find these companies, they do billions of revenue.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? There are shareholders. Let's see, Price Club and Costco. Saul Price. That was Price Club.
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
Anyway.
Anyhow,
another
good job on that stable coin.
Yeah, another stable coin depegged over the weekend.
Great.
DEI, which is only on Phantom. Not a surprising thing that there's going to be continued repercussions. Had a nice call with the reporter from the New York Times this morning.
How'd that go?
Went well. I badmouthed Do Kwon, which is popular.
Yeah, come on. You're not talking about when you guys were besties?
No, we didn't talk about that.
When you were during your Korean boy band phase?
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. No, we didn't discuss that part of it. No, it was just questions clarifying, some of the things that occurred and trying to get me to say that the VCs are at fault and stuff like that. But he's a good guy. He's learning. He's I'm mentoring a New York Times reporter.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to love to hear that.
He's a really nice guy and he's a very smart guy. And he's written a couple of, he's the one that wrote the piece on Danielle Siesta.
Wait, didn't you get quoted in that article?
I did get quoted in that article.
What was that quote again?
I don't know. Something.
Yes. According to Brad Nickel of Mission DeFi. Yes. Quote unquote.
Damn, you are in rare fucking form today.
I think the better one would be like
shit.
It would be I remember it was a specific.
Did you go drinking last night, Joe? Is that the problem?
No. I'm there's something. I have a little head cold. There's something bothering me allergy wise.
COVID.
No, there was something.
Did you get your
booster? They asked you a really good question, and that's why I was. When they quoted you last time, it was actually a pretty good question, and that's why I was trying to think what it was.
I don't know what's going on with this, but Meta has adopted Bitcoin and the Lightning Network in some way into their infrastructure. I don't understand why. They launched a new company called Lightspark, backed by Andreessen Horowitz, Paradigm, Coatue, and Matrix Partners, and it will develop back-end infrastructure for businesses interested in using Bitcoin's Lightning Network. So this doesn't sound like a very meta product because it's a B2B platform, but whatever. Oh, so the guy that led, David Marcus, that led their coin effort, their blockchain effort, is the founder of Lightspark. I know he's also from PayPal, formerly PayPal Mafia. So maybe they're going to do some kind of integration into Facebook. Who knows? But, it's good to know they're continuing their efforts. Let's expose the billions at Facebook to crypto as much as possible, correct? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Joe completely agrees. El Salvador wants to hold a little central bank convention to talk about Bitcoin.
No, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, they're gonna start staking it for people. So just call the other
Yeah,
banks.
I
to
think
give
he
them their
listed the
Bitcoin.
banks. Let's see what the central banks he invited. I don't know what Sao Tome e Principe is, but Paraguay, Angola, Ghana, Namibia, Uganda, Guinea, Madagascar, Haiti, Burundi, Eswatini, Jordan, Gambia again, Honduras, Madagascar again. What the fuck? Are there multiple? I guess maybe there's multiple central banks in those countries. I don't know. Maldives,
Yeah.
Rwanda, Nepal, Kenya, Pakistan, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Egypt, Jordan, Nigeria,
Oops.
Dominican Republic, Congo, Armenia, Bangladesh,
Yeah. Look, it's
Mozambique, Morocco, Sierra Leone, Zambia, Lesotho, Liberia, Sudan, Mongolia, Zambia, Palestine, and Malawi.
It's a good list of the unbanked. No, I mean, look, the ones where they would most benefit from having.
Yeah, they totally would.
tender.
Yeah, this is a good list. Not any real terrorist states there, so that's good.
There's a couple of question marks in there.
Question
but yeah,
marks, but let's we'll give them the benefit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to pull it all together. So
did I say Nigeria?
Yeah, I saw them in there.
Oh,
there's a lot of go-getter entrepreneurial types there, so it's probably
good. He says we'll meet in El Salvador, so sounds like he's got 44 countries showing up. That could be.
Yeah, look, get us a media pass for that.
There you go. If he can convince, like even a chunk of those to sign up on the Bitcoin train, that could be very interesting.
Was Panama on that list, just out of curiosity?
I don't think so. I didn't see Panama.
Just because they kind of have their own thing going on.
Yeah.
Too.
I don't see a Panamanian reference. Wait, was there more in the list? Did I miss? Oh no, that was it. No Panama.
Yeah. Okay. No, so there's going to be a competing initiative there, probably. Look, I think, it makes sense. We've talked about this before, for, payment engines for agricultural workers and, where they basically give up large chunks both on remittances and, internal payment transfers. When you're buying all your food at the company store and the company's, you're living at the company housing, my guess is there's not going to be a lot left over at the end of the month.
Yeah.
After you spend that money there, plus the handling fees, there's probably transaction fees everywhere.
Yeah.
I could see if I was Bukele, it would make a lot of sense because, when you get people more money, they tend to regard you favorably as a politician.
Definitely. They think they seem to like that.
Yeah. I don't know why. Go figure. But, look, these types of things will just bring more user adoption, more use cases for, fintech, more cash into people's pockets. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. No, me too. By the way, there was news today that the Luna Foundation Guard, basically, I think what it came down to is there's like $40 million left of the billions that was in the treasury.
Yeah, I saw something that the BTC holdings dropped down to 315 BTC now.
Yeah, I think they were documenting where they sold everything.
Yeah, there's about, like you said, what, 335 million in the treasury or some like obscenely low number.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Here we go. May 7th, they had all of this.
Yeah,
80,000 BTC, blah blah. And somebody joked. I've never seen a foundation go so hardcore about the nonprofit part.
They had this on the back, lighting cigars with Hundies, man.
Yeah, so they basically outline in detail. They sold everything. Like, there's not shit left. They probably kept enough around to pay people, but that's it. So it's. Oh, here's a dashboard. Let's take a look.
Yeah, this might be the one that I saw. I saw no, I didn't see this one either. But
there's the reserve balance. That was May 3rd. This is today. 85 million. So 89 million. Oh, look at that. Killing it. fuck,
Well,
you
looks
could
like
start
there sounds like there could be a real credible turnaround story here at this point. You know,
you
since
could
they've
start a
pissed-
rebase token with that.
Yeah, we're at the point now where you've already pissed away the 27B. Now it's time to like show us your real badass Do Kwon and turn your $32 into 15.
Exactly. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you
Yeah.
got. What can you build out of with 90 million to turn the story around?
I think you need to follow what was Mark Cuban's advice once. Somebody asked him, if you lost everything, this is about 10 years ago, what would you do? And he said, first thing he would do is get that job in the restaurant bartending or waiting tables. And so he had food and cash and get a sales job.
Yeah.
So Do Kwon, I mean, I think with 90 million, you ought to be able to pull off something at least that impressive, right?
Yeah. I'm always impressed with the people selling bottles of water on the corner, because you can buy like a case of water for $3 and you sell them for $1 a piece. Where this in Miami, it works better because it's always hot. But
yeah,
that's some nice cash roll right there. Like,
you know what else you could do?
What's
you
that?
Could go to the recycling and collect all the recycled bottles. Just fill it up with tap water and sell them for $1 too. I mean, you take a big chunk of margin out, or add a big chunk of margin. But yeah, no, you're right. There's like, I think at Whole Foods, it's like $3.30 for one of those like 24 cases of bottles.
Exactly.
And if you $24,
$24
minus
$20 profit. Yeah.
You got to hire some people to stand on the corner.
There you go. Yeah. Then you start hiring them.
Yeah.
You just grab all the people that you split it in half. Give them half.
Every bottle you sell, you get 20 cents.
Joe.
So look, you can make a ton of money. You sell 2,000 bottles out of here today. How much money is that?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Evidently, Sam Bankman-Fried stirred up some shit this weekend I didn't know about. basically saying Bitcoin payments suck and it'll never be a payment network. And I guess he got fucking inundated with maxis coming after him. Niblets dropping in Beanstalk. You know what? That'd be the smartest thing Do Kwon could do, is take 77 million, back the Beanstalk shortage, get those pods. They'll be worth, get them at 50% or 30%, double that money inside of like maybe 6 months. So turn that 90 million into or 77 million into 150. Now you're on the road to sainthood. Do it again.
No guts, no glory, Do Kwon.
Yeah, and then you don't have to actually fucking run anything, and nobody has to listen to your stupidity.
So because you're a really good sales dude.
Yeah,
but you're shitty at operations management, admin, all that.
Sucks at operations.
But hey, I am too. So
yeah. I mean, basically, he says anything that's not proof of stake will fail for payments, which is a pretty good argument. As much as I love Bitcoin, I really do, Sean. Because Sean's about to write a comment. He's over there typing right now.
Well, I think that
Lightning does speed it up, so I have to be fair.
How does it affect their, because they always get the grind, the proof of work, environmental grind is always dropped on them. I'm wondering, how does Lightning run in? That's like a kind of functioning almost like a L2 does on, say, Ethereum, right? It's a separate.
It's a layer.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's like,
and it's proof of stake. It's not proof of work.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
But the problem is, for me, the thing that's been difficult for me to see how it could get to mass scale adoption is it requires, everybody to kind of almost be a node on Lightning, and you're making a connection one-to-one. So if you and I were transacting, we have to make a connection one-to-one, but the connection has to be supported by connections that we have connections to already. Now, if you get to scale, that's not a problem. And guys like, there's a guy that makes the wallet, makes a Bitcoin wallet and payment service. They also have a debit card. Drawing a blank on his name. It'll come to me later. But anyway, they were building out Lightning nodes to scale to support their entire network. And they've had a ton of success getting that in the hands of people and consumers utilizing it for payments because of the debit card attached to it. So, there's promise. I don't think that that's impossible for there to be a Bitcoin payment thing, but I definitely agree. Proof of stake in terms of speed, performance, transaction volume hasn't beat. So.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet from my buddy Simone, or maybe it was from the foundation yesterday. Everybody's going after the, bless you, Joe. everybody's going after all the Terra projects, saying, "Come here, we have grants, we have money, bring your project here." And evidently, Polygon was going after him as well. So everybody wants to go pick up the folks who are trying to figure out how they're going to keep their project alive. And here it is. Here's the Fountain Foundation. Out there looking for a new chain, please PM us. Phantom's uptime is 100% fast, low cost, and reliable with a great community. Can assist with grant program integration, marketing, and connections. And that's smart. I'm glad to see them, out there doing it.
Yeah. No, I just put a couple of links over there in the channel for you to load up too. If you're
you decided to do your job today. That's good.
Well, I just don't have it in me to share the screen. So
the Brazilian Stock Exchange will launch Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. I have no idea if that matters, but it's a big country,
I
right?
think it does. Yeah. It's it's a main, it's, top 10 country. That's for sure. As far as, GDP, GNP, all that. Sent you a couple of things. One on Nomura Bank in Japan.
Got it loaded.
There you go. Launching a crypto unit with DeFi and NFTs in the focus. So you know who I'm thinking about for that.
Yeah, of course.
So, I know that might be a good stepping stone to all those other deals that were talked about last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's pretty big. And that's Japan too. So
yeah.
And then what was the other thing on Polkadot? I thought this was kind of interesting. It seems to be relative to everything else, it seems to be going up.
Right.
Let's see if that's a paywall here or not. I'm clicking it too. Doesn't look like it. Well, maybe so. But something to look at. I always like Polkadot.
Polkadot's
I kind of
down 9.27%.
Yeah, well, maybe this article's a day old or something. Yes, well, who knows? But the point is,
Polkadot leads way as largest cryptocurrency. Oh, they're saying it fell the most. Yeah. Yeah, but these numbers are only like for the last couple of days, because prior to that, Polkadot was up I believe Polkadot was up last week. But
yeah, I've been in look, anytime you can find Polkadot or Chainlink in the teens, my feeling is you buy it, because it's one I've rode up and down a few times, and when it gets in like the 23 to 25 range, that's when I've sold it.
Right.
So, anything when we rebound next cycle, summer pump, whatever, those are going to go. Just because everybody looks at them as, something that's sort of.
Yeah. Look at this.
Crop. Go ahead.
Look, this was Polkadot last week, right? So everybody's dying, and Polkadot went from $7.70 up to $11.70 the next day, and still dropped and came back up again, 11.42, 11.59. So it's only off that a little bit. So it gave some of it back, but it was showing pretty strong there.
Yeah, and it's, I started looking at it back when I was over on Binance Malta all the time before they, locked us out. They actually had, maybe that was on CoinMarketCap, actually. They had a tab that was, the Polkadot ecosystem. So you could go in there. So back then, that was just being talked about. And, the BSC ecosystem, I don't think they had like the Avalanche tabs up or Phantom and all of that, but you could then go find the companies that were in the top 10, or the coins that were in the top 10 of, say, all of those ecosystems. Just look where they were on their charts, and the money's going to rotate. But the Polkadot, Kusama's in it and a few other things. But, the other ones I remember were like maybe Loopring and another one that was in like, maybe, was it Anchor? Maybe Anchor was across all of them. But there's a lot going on in there. And honestly, I'm not a Polkadot expert. But, to me, it's one that if you get in that range and you can range it, you do okay.
It's good.
Have you ever bought it?
No.
Have you ever bet on it?
I have. I've traded it with the bots, on Binance in days gone by, but not recently.
Yeah. Okay.
Not recently. Joe, I got nothing else today. I think we keep it a short show today.
Yeah, me too. You need to
We're
get packed
10
up
minutes
for the.
off. Yeah, I gotta get.
Tomorrow.
That's what I gotta get. I gotta go fucking get ready because
yeah. Well.
Hey, listen, folks. No show for the next 3 days unless Joe wants to do it by himself, which he's more than welcome to do. Joe, you want to do the show by yourself?
You show me how to set it up. I mean, I
I'll
could do
set
a
up-
short one.
I set them up for you.
Set them up for me. I'll do a short one. I'll do a 30-minute
right.
show.
All
Yeah.
right, Joe's
That
gonna
way
do some.
maybe we can get you dialed in while you're there too.
Well,
you
I
can
can
come in for
try.
like
I can.
15
You know,
minutes.
I'll do a live report from the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep the show tight.
Yeah.
I think
Live
Yeah,
from
it'll be fun.
Permissionless, it's Brad Nickel. Like that.
From the Gold Club at Permissionless, it's Brad Nickel at the after party. Brad,
Yeah.
no, you get off the pole, buddy. That's for the dancers.
The good
Yeah,
news is I
before
don't
I
drink
go-
like I used to, so not gonna have
Yeah,
to worry about
yeah.
any embarrassing moments. I hope. You know.
Well, yeah. Let's hope. But I remember, what I found now is the trick is as you get older, you just need to drink more and more rapidly.
Yeah.
And then that way you kind of power right through that wall that's going to hit you in about 5 minutes. Then you're on autopilot, lights are on, but nobody's home.
I think I'm gonna pass on the drinking. I'll watch
The
everybody else
downside
get
is the
trashed.
next day.
I'll drink
really
a
kills you.
Sprite with a lime until it's a gin and tonic.
Well, it's kind of hard. You get there and all of a sudden you're like, you forget, how old you are.
Yeah.
And, everybody else is, the shot serving gals with the various local costumes are, serving drinks, and you kind of get caught up in all of that. And it's like, next thing the next day, you're kind of like, wow, what happened? And you're like, oh yeah, I drank 3 beers.
Yeah. You think people
so,
still use business cards?
when I was at the actually I was getting some
Bloomberg, I
business
could
cards
see
at the
that,
Bloomberg
because
conference.
that's a bunch of that I could see.
But permissionless, I wouldn't worry. What you want is your Telegram QR code thing
QR
teed
code,
up
get
and
that
ready
ready.
to go.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Does
and
Telegram
the
have that
fastest.
though?
Yeah. No, I mean,
I've never used that.
I haven't either, but there was when I was at the BTC conference after hours parties, I was, having to accept a lot of those.
All right.
But yeah, that's the way to roll. That's where everybody is.
Chuck says
they're not-
LinkedIn QR codes. I guess I
Yeah,
could do
they're-
that. LinkedIn is such a cesspool.
What, are you going to go to the assisted living facility up there? What? I'm sorry. That's Facebook. That's Facebook.
That's Facebook. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, LinkedIn works well. I was at a conference in Orlando a few years
Oh, you know
ago.
who I'm going to meet in person?
Let me see. I've got a pretty good bet out of 6 billion to 1 odds. I can take a guess.
A listener.
Mike. Oh,
A
a
listener.
listener. Oh, Eamon.
Amen. Amen and I are going to meet in the person.
I remembered the other day I was remembering somebody was going to permissionless, and I was thinking it was
Yeah.
I mean, I just pulled Eamon out because
That
I
was
thought
perfect,
it might be
Jim.
him.
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done. No, I'm going to meet
No.
him, and I've got a bunch of other people teed up. So we'll see what we can get out of this.
You'll have fun, man. Just take your vitamins with you. Get to bed early. You'll be.
You should have seen the friggin' hotel prices.
You driving back and forth, or are you bunkering
No,
up?
Brightline, taking a train.
Yeah, are they picking you up at your house? Like I
No,
said?
I'm too far out of the range.
Oh.
So I'm gonna get dropped off at downtown, and then they'll pick me up. They'll pick me up at the train station there and bring me back Thursday, and
So you're going up and back daily.
No. I'm
Oh
staying
yeah,
over.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good. Well, the cat's away. The mice will play. Just
my
put that in
God.
your head. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
But
my
anyhow,
God.
remember, watch out for the Russian girls at these things.
I am not going to be talking to any Russian girls.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, you're gonna be prey up there for these young ladies, so you better be careful.
yeah, I don't think so.
Media celebrity with a couple of
Oh my
quotes
God,
in the
you're
New
so
York
full of
Times,
shit.
man. They're gonna be all over you. Oh man, it'll be fun. But look,
Yeah, it'll be good. Those things always wear me the fuck out, though.
Oh God, yeah. It's like after you get done with them, you got to go write emails to everybody and follow up with everybody you schmoozed for like hours. And unfortunately, that's where sometimes I overlook that part of the whole process.
Yeah, it's always shitty, and you don't get to everybody. You're like, nah, okay. So
Are the digital the Monavale people? Are they going to be there?
I don't know. I'm going to ping her and ask.
What about ALCX? You know if they're going to be around?
I did check with him this morning. I haven't heard back. I am going to see the guys at Bancor. I'm going to see the guys at Anchor. Oh, by the way, I got a new episode out.
Good.
With Anchor, and then I've got another one with a project called Swell Network, which is a liquid staking solution with built-in vaults. We talked about it on the show a couple of weeks ago. So that one's coming out tomorrow. Anchor came out over the weekend, and today I'm hyping it. Really good interview. This guy, Josh Neuroth, is just top-notch product guy. Just really knows his shit. So they're doing some really cool shit where you'll be able to do staking on an RPC node. So you can be providing decentralized infrastructure for chains, including Phantom, Ethereum, a bunch of other proof of stake chains. But you can actually set up an RPC node to make your connection faster to the network and more stable, and use that node for staking as well. So that's coming out. That's cool. But I actually went and I had a couple hundred Phantom in my wallet. Yeah. And I was on their website and I clicked on their liquid staking. It's like the sweetest, easiest staking. It was just like bam, bam, done. And now I'm just going to let it run. Collect Phantom for the recovery. And
what's
15 years from now, I should make like $100. On them, it's 9% on Phantom.
Here, Wow. Yeah. No, I bought some Phantom over the weekend.
And look, if you think that it's like Ethereum, if you think Phantom's going up, if you think a chain's token is going to do well eventually, and it's this cheap right now, printing more of it at 9% is to me a good thing to do.
Yeah, well, I basically just bought more because Phantom to me is, I know it's gonna go up.
It's undervalued, dude.
At this price, yeah. And so I bought some of that. I actually bought more Geist as well, because remember the issue with Blizzard was not a protocol issue. It was that somebody was asleep at the switch. And so I feel like Geist is still, okay. So I went and bought a bunch more there, hoping for a turnaround in the future. So
yeah,
that was the two. And I think I bought some more Arby's Finance over on Arbitrum, just because why not?
Yeah. So this is the interface for Anchor liquid staking, man. 9.3%. I'm not on a different wallet than the one I staked. I think. Wait a minute. Let me see. They provide you a little. 175 Phantom, right? But I was just screwing around with it for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And then it detects what you have in there. And let's see, 9% on Polygon, 4.97% on Ethereum, BNB 6.88%, Polkadot's coming soon, Avalanche 8.16%, and they got Kusama coming soon. And everything, they have some really amazing tools. Like this project's really got their shit together, and they're solving remember how we were going to make this one a short one? They're solving a big problem we have, because a huge amount of our infrastructure, RPC nodes, other infrastructure that are on these blockchains, especially, Ethereum, all of them, is centralized. It's on Amazon. And we're dependent on, Ethereum is dependent on Infura by consensus, which is a totally centralized offering of infrastructure for developers. And there's all this huge dependency. Well, Anchor is solving that problem. Decentralized RPC nodes, decentralized liquidity staking. It's a really powerful, and you can earn while you're setting up an RPC node. If you set up the infrastructure nodes, you're earning Anchor all the time from their system. So anyway, I'm thoroughly impressed with these guys.
What's the threshold for the nodes, or do they have
no minimum
co-op?
No minimum. No minimum. The nodes for Ethereum, you have to have 32, but because this is liquid staking, there's no locks. You don't have to be an actual node to do the staking. Now, an RPC node, I don't know the requirements. Didn't get into that, but
Anchor main page, I got some of that laying around.
Yeah, that's the project, Anchor. So premium API RPC endpoints, so developers can utilize it and know that their infrastructure is decentralized. It's a powerful offering, and I was really impressed with the team and him. So going to meet them in person.
No, absolutely. No, there were one when I was back looking at, there was 3 that I used to mess around with. It was Anchor and Acropolis. And I was trading those ranges, and I ended up, still have a bunch of anchor laying around, but it was across all those chains. It looked really intriguing, and it was kind of left over from the 2018 cycle,
Right.
but it was still way, way low. I think I was buying in there when it was like below a penny. What is it at now? ANKR?
I don't know right now.
I'll look it up real quick. But yeah, that'll be a good meeting.
They also have this handy little tool. I'll post in a wallet I don't use, but this multi-chain explorer. So it's like Etherscan, but you can go across multiple chains at the same time. Wow, this wallet doesn't have anything, but hold on.
Oh, wow.
But you can scan across Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, et cetera, all in one place. So put in a wallet and then find everything going on with that wallet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Great way to attract attention. So anyway, I'm just I'm like I said, I'm very impressed with this team. I'm impressed with what they're building. It's very cool. I was starting to take a look at this. This is something on Polkadot they have, which is a liquid crowd loan platform. I have no idea what it does, but I think it's for projects to raise money. Just not sure how it functions yet. So we didn't talk about this particular project on the interview. So
yeah, well, look, it's 300 million market cap. Trading volume of almost $40 million. I like that.
Yep.
And it looks like it's 82% off its all-time high, which was last year, April 16th. So
right.
A year back, which is pretty cool. And its all-time low was before that. So it didn't hit its all-time low in that contraction. The all-time low was back in the pandemic sell-off, March 13, 2020. I always liked it, so I'd rather. This is one that's on my list. I actually own some of it, so
awesome.
That's cool, man. Tell them.
I'll tell them Joe said hi.
Yeah, tell them. Help me out here. Ask them my favorite question: when moon?
They'll love that. They'll love that. All right, Joe. I'm out of here.
All right, buddy. We're gone.
Have a great afternoon. We love
set me
you guys.
Up for the rest of the week, and I'll do the show.
Right. I will. We love you guys.
Cool.
We appreciate you listening and watching. Please share with your friends, family, and on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We don't care. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the little bell if you're watching along. Thank you, James, Chuck, Niblets, everybody for playing along from home today. We appreciate you joining and engaging in the conversation. Please feel free to reach out. If you're going to be at Permissionless this week, DM me, B05 Crypto on Telegram or Twitter, B05 Crypto pound 2143 on Discord. I'd love to meet you guys in person. That's it, man. Have a great afternoon. Joe, thank you.
You got it. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Brad.